Okay, gents, let's switch gears now. US men's national team World Cup qualifying time. It's back on the slate. Two huge games. First against Mexico, then against Jamaica. Let's look at the key questions for the USA heading into these final two World Cup qualifiers of 2021. We're at the halfway point now after the Mexico game. Yeah, six more points, right, Nick Mendola? This is pretty easy after the last window. Let's just say we're going to keep on rolling. What are you looking at and focusing on specifically for Greg Berhalter's side against Mexico and Jamaica?
Well, I'm somewhere I didn't plan on being, and I'm kind of fearing. I'm kind of fearing this 2 week spell for what it could mean for the national team and the project. Obviously, the U.S. has two straight wins over Mexico with two different rosters. If Mexico's not up for this game, then they may be firing their coach. So I think it's a monumental challenge there. Jamaica, again, with us not sure. I mean, Walker Zimmerman's been their best defender in recent weeks or recent months, excuse me. John Brooks hasn't been fantastic. So are they going to be able to handle Leon Bailey and Mikel Antonio? So I have a lot of questions. I'm excited to be nervous. I'm excited to be anxious about this, but they're in a decent position right now, despite not getting the best out of their team. And so I guess it's, I don't want to say it's put up or shut up time, but it's, do I want to feel like this is going to be a cruise, which getting even 4 points out of this would make me feel like, wow, they're in the World Cup, as long as the players don't think that way. But if they lose, or if they don't get it, or if they only win one of these games, depending on how it looks, I'm going to be thinking, guys, are we going to be talking about going into the last game again? And I'm nervous about that. I don't want to do that again. CONCACAF should be a bit more straightforward.
It should be, and it has been in the last couple of, the last window in particular has put the US in a very good situation, Andy. Things are heading in the right direction. For you, what's the biggest issue heading into this set of games? Because going forward, there seems to still be some question marks about where the goals are going to come from. And just some breaking news, Sergino Dest is out. Barcelona have said he's out. He's had an injury. So that throws up a few issues there because he was sensational. Obviously, he scored a great goal in the last international break. So what's the key issue for you heading into these games against Mexico and Jamaica, which, like Nick said, will be very, very tricky?
There's tactical questions all over because this is facing the other big opponent in CONCACAF. And so I kind of like the fact that we've had, the 6 games so far to slowly build up to having this game. And then maybe the second toughest game in the entire octagonal, going away to Jamaica as well. Obviously no fans there, but that's a very, very good team. And so we have been able to kind of slowly build up to this and work out what some of the biggest issues are. And so I don't look at the squad and see a glaring issue outside of the center back positions to maybe center forward, because we've got to put the ball in the back of the net. But I think that that's going to slowly it's becoming clear to me that within the U.S. men's national team player pool, the number 9 that we keep talking about and hoping for doesn't exist right now. Ricardo Pepi might be that guy in 12 months' time when we get to the World Cup, if we get to the World Cup next winter, but that's not him quite yet. He is not ready to assume that responsibility and that mantle. And so I guess I just look at both ends. How can we limit Mexico in the chances that they're given? If it's shots from 20, 25 yards, whether it's Zach Steffen or Matt Turner, 2 very good shot stoppers, they will see that and they will deal with that all day. And so a lot of that comes down to Tyler Adams as well. How much is he able to protect that back line? Is he going to be has he got one more game before the international break? Is he going to come through that healthy? Is he going to be in camp and he's going to be ready to go? I think you made the point, Joe. They look the best that they have looked under Berhalter the last time that we saw them. And so maybe that's still clouding kind of the way that I view this game, but I don't feel any fear. I don't feel that. I feel the nerves because it's US Mexico, because this is one of the 2 games that you look forward to every 4 years. And so that the big game feels are there, but I'm not nervous about this because Mexico's just as nervous, or if not more worried, I think, than the American players and the fans, especially because they've been up and down. They've been really hit or miss, and it feels like the U.S. has been a little bit more even keel throughout these first 6 games. So I don't know. I'm so ready for this game. I am so ready to sit on the couch, have the computer up, be on shift, texting Nick nonstop. Joe, maybe we can get you to stay up late over there in the like. This is the game. This is the one that I really look forward to, and being at the last two of them between U.S. Mexico when they were both in Columbus, just absolutely incredible spectacles they are.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy, crazy game, that one. I mean, Christian Pulisic being back, he should feature some part in these games, which is a huge boost for the USA. Obviously, Gio Reyna has been out for Dortmund, so that's a miss. I mean, I'm looking at the dangers that Mexico and Jamaica possess. There's a lot of attacking weapons that they have. I mean, Raul Jimenez looks really, really good. He looks back to his best, so that's going to be a huge challenge for John Brooks or Robinson or Zimmerman, whoever starts there at centre-back. And Mikel Antonio as well, obviously didn't play against the USA last time, so him being back, Leon Bailey being back, Bobby De Cordova-Reed, Andre Gray. They have a lot of good attacking weapons, Jamaica. So I'm really intrigued to see how they do in the second half of the World Cup qualifying cycle, because if that squad stays together, I think the Reggae Boys could have a real good run at finishing third or fourth. And clearly the USA and Mexico are first and second. I don't share any of the negativity, or not negativity, but the worries that you guys do about the USA getting to Qatar, because I think it's pretty much done and dusted after the first 6 games and the amount of points they managed to rack up. So, Andy, don't shake your head. I'm not.
You're not allowed to say that, Joe.
Pretty much.
You can't say that until it's
no,
done.
It's okay.
Okay, England are going to win the World Cup. England are going to win the World Cup. Sorry.
We all know they're going to lose on penalty kicks. That's just the way it works.
Remember, England, Joe, I think there's a little bit of, not bias here, but you can't help it, because every time the draw comes out to qualify for a World Cup, there's like one team in a group that could beat England. and so, like, at worst, they're going to a playoff. So it's a little bit of a different vibe. Like, if I just think you don't get to live the fear that we do just in qualifying, at least in recent years.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I can remember England struggling was not making the 2008 Euros,
sure.
When they had the golden generation. And somebody booked tickets to go to Switzerland and Austria that summer to watch England as a fan, and ended up watching very good games nonetheless, but not England. Anyway, what's a good points return, very quickly, from you guys from these 2 games? Andy Edwards.
4, and I'm over the moon. I'll take 3 and be very, very happy, and because that puts them not only on pace to qualify, but they're well ahead at that point.
Nick?
Same. Yeah, exact same thing. I would take 3. I would prefer that 3 to be, I don't know. I might prefer that 3 to be against Jamaica. I'm not sure. Just because I can excuse a loss to Mexico more quickly than I could excuse a loss to Jamaica.
Yeah, I think 4 points is looking pretty good. I think the experiences this team had away from home on the road early in qualifying, like Andy said, it's going to hold them in good stead away at Jamaica, and then having Mexico as the final game of the first round of games, that's perfect. They've been given, the experience and these young players the chance to get used to it, and they had that confidence of beating Mexico the last couple of times. That said, I think Mexico are a slightly different proposition now, so it's going to be really, really interesting. So over at Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com, we will keep you totally up to date with all the latest news from the US men's national team camp, reaction news, recaps, highlights, everything. It's a big finish to the year for the US men's national team in World Cup qualifying, as they try and inch closer to Qatar. Even if Nick and Andy don't think they're just there yet, they're nearly there in my book. They just need a few positive results in these games, and they can almost start booking their hotel in Doha.